Nice. Earned that. Amy, on a scale of 1 to buzzing, how buzzing are you?
About 2.
Wow. I'm very tired.
Very tired.
Tired.
Watermelon.
That looks like your shade, mate.
Not that one?
Yeah. Yeah. Just in the nick of time. We are the last ones on the plane. It's about 400 degrees on this plane. It's well hot. It might be too hot. It might be. Could be. The flying at all. Oh wow. Flying right, innit? Didn't die on the plane. Yes! Hola, amigos! Me llamo James. Hola! Gracias por venir. Adiós! Hello. Hello. Hola.
Hola. Me gusta.
Who's your mate?
Cheers, everyone.
Time to go for a shakeout run. Amy's buzzing.
Shake it down, shake it down.
Yeah, nice 2 miles to Starbucks, get some food on the way back. And yeah, chill for the rest of the day. Whoop. I think I'm gonna trip. I'm leaning back so quick. Stop. Moist. Rain was not in the forecast. How'd you feel, Aim? Back from the run. 2 mile shakeout, which was pretty nice, with some strides, and then it started raining, but it was actually really nice. Went and got Starbucks and some nice breakfast, just walked back. It's about 20 degrees outside, it's proper nice. Now I'll get ready for the day, go to the expo, pick up my number, and then yeah, chill out and try and stay off my feet. Do you mind, mate?
Sorry, you keep walking into me. You faster, run faster. Things you shouldn't do the day before a marathon. Absolutely.
don't know whose head is this shaped, if I'm being totally honest with you.
I like it.
That suits you, but I
know, I don't like this.
Normally after I finish my coffee at home with just
Hydration.
one for you. Really.
eat the pasta. All done, the packed bib is on. Time for some rest. And bed preparations. Early wake up tomorrow. See you on the flip side.
Tired. It's dark. Why are you so grumpy? I'm actually alright, but I'm tired. It's dark. I don't think you're putting up with my shit very well this morning, are you?
No, this tastes like shit and I'm not gonna drink the whole thing.
Told you we can sing a happy song. Owen Bowie, Owen Bowie, Owen Bowie, Owen Bowie, Owen Bowie. Show me your game face.
As the Rock would say.
Focus! Well,
That used to be us, Amy.
not anymore.
Look at us now.
They're all running.
They've got so many hours of that ahead of them. Just chill, bro. Nice to see they finished setting up the race. In the inevitable queue, toilet.
She needs a poo-poo.
Love the ground.
But these two finish.
Like 2:10, 2:05 for the men, like 2:20, 2:25 for the women.
Really?
Yeah.
Nervous bladder. Nervous what?
Bladder. It's so fun.
Big number columns, so you will find it on the side of the layer. You'll find the color of your big number, that will be your entrance. Remember that you come from the very front of the group over to
Why? Legends. Oranges! Yeah. Well done! You're so quick!
I'm so tired.
How did you run so fast?
Adrenaline.
How you feeling? I'm better than I was 5 minutes ago.
Got a proven up bar.
I'm alright for a minute, thank you. My quads are in pieces, so much. So much sweat.
Pineapple.
Oh. So much sweat. Champagne?
In a minute.
In a minute.
Warm and horrible.
Your thigh don't wobble wobble, it falls. That's wobbling involuntarily, by the way. Oh. Nice. Nice. Heard that. It's getting hot. Look at this, absolutely. Adven, vamos! I couldn't still be running, fair play. No. Giving you some free foot content. I should be selling this. Beautiful day. I had 2 sangrias. It's finally put me in a state that I feel I can finally have a nap, have a shower, and then go to bed. We're gonna sneak up on Amy and see if she's awake. Why are you running away from me? Get back!
It's like
Tapas.
Oh, sorry, Mary. Oh, yeah.
What? I'm waiting. What are you waiting for?
Do you want me to take a photo? Well, Mike can take a photo again.
Cheers me!
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know.
Cheers.
Kamikaze.
Ah, that's a video. Why you play me like this? Why you play me? Sightseeing. Can you walk any longer? Can you walk? Can you do it? Oh, can you do it? Oh, I was filming my chin. Great. How to stay off your feet post-marathon.
What, on the bus?
On the bus.
How to stay on your feet post watching something in marathon.
Such hard work we did yesterday. Didn't even give me my orange.
I did God's work.
God's work.
2 days post-marathon. My legs are actually feeling not too bad. Yesterday they were in agony, but I think just another good night's sleep and a lot of rest yesterday has really helped. Walking a lot better now. I've still obviously got some residual DOMs. My calves are pretty tight. My quads are the worst, which is interesting because it was such a flat course. But yeah, feeling okay. Still going to take the week off, probably just sit on a bike for a couple of days this week just to get things moving. But yeah, and then not long to go until London. This is definitely the worst part of the trip. Packing to leave, getting the train back to Madrid today, and then we're there for a couple of days, so that will be fun. Nice to go a little twin centre. The room is an absolute garbage site, to be honest. I've just had zero energy, so yeah, fun. How does that taste, Amy?
Making me feel a lot better. It's fixing me. I think I'll probably stop drunk from last night, to be honest.
You sure you only bought one bottle?
I literally can't.
This is runner's paradise of a park. Would return just to run. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. How the fuck do they get here? Oh my god, that's so cool.
Like every time I look up, there's more. Here we have a wild leopard hunting for its next meal. Cheers, mate. Seville Marathon was 5 days ago now, so I wanted to film this a bit earlier but just didn't get round to it. Wanted to do a proper race recap, but I actually for once didn't take any notes post race. didn't want to get the camera out, just wanted to enjoy my time in Seville and then my time in Madrid. So yeah, I'm doing it now. It's Friday evening. It's, yeah, 5 days post-race. And Seville was hard. Probably, I would say probably the hardest marathon I've done. So it was marathon number 6. I always thought Peterborough Marathon was going to take the one for the hardest, but no, Seville was difficult. So I decided to take a short cycle, only 12 weeks, which to be honest really helped me, because I find if I do anything more than that, my brain kind of, it doesn't switch off, but I find it a really mental hard slog. So yeah, I decided on a 12-week cycle. It started just around Christmas time, and it kind of fit perfectly. What wasn't so perfect, however, was the tendinitis that I got 6 weeks before the marathon, I guess. And it kind of came out of nowhere. Usually I've had tendinitis before. Usually I feel it coming on somewhat progressively, and it literally came out of nowhere. I remember I did a 20-mile run and it felt great, and I went for my recovery run the day after, and when I woke up from that, my leg was just in pieces. So it was a hard slog to get to Seville. I actually said the week before Seville I was contemplating not racing, but I felt okay in a kind of 10 days leading up to it. I'd done a couple of easy runs that had felt okay. I hadn't hit marathon pace for a long time, but I kind of knew that I'd probably make it around 26.2 and in a somewhat respectable time, so decided to give it a whirl. It wasn't until my last kind of workout before Seville where I'd hit marathon pace for the first time since I ran the half in Farnborough, so that was 4 weeks before the race. My marathon pace when I went into this block was supposed to be about 7:25 to 7:35 per mile, which would have put me, if I can remember rightly, at about 3:15, 3:20 pace. So pretty speedy. That would have been another kind of 10 to 15 minute PB from Chicago last year, but I thought, you know what? I didn't train that hard for Chicago. I was aerobically super fit, but I hadn't really done that many hard workouts, so I thought, let's see if that was a fluke or not. We'll give this a whirl. I was hitting probably the fastest paces in my workouts that I've ever done before, for sure, and they felt really good. I felt super strong during those workouts, and I was really busy as well. I was traveling a lot for work. Obviously January marathon training, anyone who's done a spring marathon will know winter training is no joke. So I felt super confident until the tendinitis kind of reared its head, and for a long time I was actually super worried that it was a stress reaction or a stress fracture, because I've had one of those before as well. So yeah, about 10 days out I decided, we'll give it a go. Just let go of the idea of getting a PB, of getting a BQ, which was the ultimate goal because I came so close to it in Chicago. And I thought, do you know what? You're in Spain. It's a destination race. It's a good race. Just enjoy it. Just let go of kind of your goals, and just your goal is to enjoy the race. But yeah, that's kind of where we were 10 days out. So it gets to race day. I wasn't super well rested. I obviously had a pretty broken sleep the night before. I went to bed relatively early, but those jitters were there. I didn't feel nervous, but obviously subconsciously that kind of sits there. I could tell that I was fidgeting a lot the day before, especially after I went and picked up my number. Everything gets super real when you're at the expo. So I woke up, I felt okay. Obviously forced a massive bowl of porridge down my neck. Walked to the race line rather than getting public transport, just because I feel that kind of relaxes me a little bit. It wasn't that far. I think it was about just over a K. Went to the toilet, got everything set up. Amy really sweetly got up with me in the morning and walked to the start line with me, which was really nice of her. So yeah, I felt okay. Walked into my pen, just trying to keep my own space, just trying to keep chill. Like usually I'm kind of jumping up and down, like trying to keep myself warm, but I felt pretty zen actually. Went out, and I think like my first mile clocked pretty slow, which was good. That's what I wanted to do. It's what I did in Chicago. So yeah, I thought that I kind of mastered the slow 5k into the marathon. But yeah, like the weather was good. It was about 11-12 degrees, which is perfect for kind of endurance running, but it did not all stop there, let me tell you. I thought my first 5k was pretty slow, but actually I think it was my second fastest 5k of the whole race. The first mile was 7:58 and it was busy. I felt like I was working a lot slower than that actually. 7:58, 7:48, 7:46, and I remember when my second mile beeped, I literally said out loud to myself, what are you doing? So after that it was 7:52, 7:55, 7:51. And I kind of found my rhythm leading into 10k. I actually found 2 British guys and we chatted for quite a long time, which was super nice because the first 10k of Seville Marathon's pretty uninspiring. It's a very quiet loop to the east of the river, and I'm super glad actually that that was out of the way first, because had that been at the end like I've had in previous marathons, I would have lost my head completely. It was in quite a big pack that I think there was no paces unfortunately that I could see, but I think it was about the 3:30 group, which is where I wanted to be anyway. So we latched onto each other for, I don't know, probably 6 to 10 miles. Probably used up more energy than I would have liked actually chatting with those guys. And I could tell by every kind of bleep of my watch that I was probably going a bit too fast. I should have just let my experience take hold. So I kept seeing 7:50s and 7:40s bleep on my watch. And I said to myself for about 3-4 miles, you need to slow, you need to slow. I didn't do that for a very long time, which, yeah, obviously I paid a price for further down the line. I actually woke up with quad DOMs pretty badly the morning of the race. So I'd done some strides the day before after my shakeout, and I think they were likely just maybe 5 to 10 seconds a mile quicker than what I should have really been doing them, because I felt even during them I was like, oh, my quads are pulling a bit. So yeah, I definitely felt them pretty early in the race, and I knew that they were going to hurt me later on. So yeah, that was a bit annoying, but I really liked running with those guys. I let them kind of push on away from me. I think from about mile 12, mile 13, I just said, hey guys, have a good race. I'll see you at the end if I see you at the end. But I dropped back off the pace and kind of settled back into a slower group than what was around me. We kind of set up with Amy and my parents at what points in the race that we were going to see each other. So the first one was 25k, and I was already pretty tired. Like, I was pretty focused and in the zone. That features earlier on in the video actually. You can see me kind of going, I'm so tired, and throwing my arm sleeves at Amy.
Oranges! Down.
All those guys, and it was a big boost. It's kind of what I needed. It came off a hard part of the course. Yeah, the temperature got pretty hot pretty quick. So I think when I finished the race it was about 21 degrees, and that's just a bit too warm for me. I think I saw my mum then at about 30k. I actually wasn't expecting to see her there. I kind of turned the corner and she was there shouting me on like, go JD, which was really when I was starting to hurt. It's when the wheels started falling off, and I'm looking at my splits on Strava now. I can literally see it just go from the very comfortable 7s into the 8s, and then it goes to 7 and an 8 and then a 7, and then it just kind of trickles downwards. So I think after I saw my mum, although as much of a boost as it was, I remember maybe 500 meters past, so it was the first time I stopped and walked. My quads at that point were just done. I had cramp. I was so hot. Like, I'd missed a couple of water stations actually. It was a super well organized race, I think, on the course, but they just, I don't think they had the ability to kind of sweep the course in between the waves of runners. So yeah, being in the 3:30 group, you've obviously got quite a lot of people in front of you, and there was a lot of water on the road, a lot of kind of dead water cups. I was just slipping on them left, right and centre. There was a lot of people that just didn't really have much road etiquette. They would just kind of cut in front of you, grab a water, and then they would just stop dead and start walking. So I would miss a couple of people. I dropped a couple, and yeah, I missed a couple, and I think not that I drink that much anyway when I go around it, but yeah, I think because the temperature got pretty hot, I probably suffered for that a little bit. So, yeah, my stomach issues then started kind of rearing their heads at about mile 20. I've been training with Morton for my past kind of 6 months. They worked for me really, really well in Chicago, and they've worked for me really, really well during the majority of my long runs. My stomach started kind of cramping, hurting a little bit at about mile 20. I knew that it was at that point that my pace had started to slow. So I'd seen 3 8s on my watch at in succession at that point. I knew that I dropped way off the pace, and I knew that I was probably not going to get that back. And then from mile 20 onwards, it drops to 8:28, 8:23, 8:36, 8:36. So I was trying to play that mental kind of long game, going, okay, you've walked once, you're not going to do it again. And it was just repeatedly trying to tell yourself, because what you don't want to do is get to that place, which is the wall. I still don't think I hit that point. I've hit that point in a race before, and it didn't feel like that in Seville. It just felt, to be honest, like I was deconditioned, which I was. My legs had done the distance in training. I'd gone well over 20 miles. I think it was just the 6 weeks off. It was essentially just a super long taper. And actually coming back into the city was, like, course-wise, probably the best. Like, the streets were super narrow. Like, there were so many people just, like, going about there every day, and they were cheering everybody on. But there were a couple of places that were super tight, and I remember just people just stopping and walking in the middle of the street. And I've got no problem with doing that. I stopped and walked more than once, but it was a lot of dodging. It's what you kind of expect to get at the start of the race. When all the pens are released, you do a lot of dodging and weaving, or you try not to do a lot of dodging and weaving. But yeah, I felt like I was doing that quite a lot whilst kind of battling with my own mental demons, I guess. I took 6 gels out with me. I only took 4, and I wanted the orange. Couldn't get the orange, but I felt at that point in the race I physically would not be able to stomach another one, so I thought I'll just grind it out. I know I've only got less than an hour of running left to do. So yeah, that part was hard. It was the most enjoyable. It was actually the point where I wish I took my camera with me, because it's stunning, running right next to the cathedral. So my watch GPS was way out. I don't know when it went way out, but what was kind of irritating is because I'm someone that works in miles. I don't work in Ks, and my mental math is so bad that I struggle to make the switch in my head. And Seville only had K markers. Obviously 5, 10, 15K, I can do that in my head because I tend to break down a marathon into 5K. But yeah, it was from 15 miles just way out. My watch was bleeping at just completely random times, and it bleeped for what I knew was 40K so early. And I thought, maybe they've missed a K marker or something like that. Yeah, no, they hadn't. Just had no idea what I was going to do. I knew up until about mile 22, 23 that I was going to be close to my Chicago time. I knew throughout the race that although I wanted to race for fun, there's always that thing in the back of your mind that you want a PB. I came so close to BQ in Chicago, and I was so fit going into this block that I knew if things went okay, I could very comfortably BQ, or at least get as close to 3:30 as possible. From about mile 22, I knew that was going to be an uphill struggle unless someone gifted me new quadriceps. And let me tell you, that doesn't happen. So yeah, 40K came, and I knew that I only had 2K left. It honestly felt like the longest 2K I've ever run in my life. It felt longer than the first 5K I ever even ran at park run. It just seemed to drag on, and I think it was because at that point I knew that I wasn't kind of gonna get any of the kind of 4 goals that I'd set myself kind of pre-block and even revised during the actual block when I'd got injured. So yeah, my legs had turned to pure concrete at that stage. I felt sick, like I was super like kind of acid reflux retching, and I really wanted to be sick. So yeah, it was just battle to the end, and the longest end to a marathon I've ever run in my life. I knew I was close to the end, I knew where I was on the course, and the finish line was just nowhere in sight. And yeah, I was just willing my feet, to be honest, to finish at that point. But yeah, I finished. I wasn't really sure what my time was because my watch was obviously off. I think I ended up doing 26:55 or something on my watch, so that's my first ultra. Cheers, Strava. I ended up going in 3:33:33. I couldn't have tried to get that time if I wanted to be honest. It's a very satisfying number. In hindsight, now that I've had a bit of time for it to digest, that I'm super proud of, because like in Chicago, I had no business running that pace. This block I didn't because I was injured for so long, and I thought in the 340, 345 range, which is ironically what I wanted in Chicago, but no, in hindsight, super happy with the time. It's nice to know that Chicago wasn't a fluke. I'm happy. But yeah, no, Seville was cool. It was nice. We got a day and a half after the marathon in Seville to chill out. Usually I'd fly straight home. Had a few sangrias. And then we went to Madrid for a couple of days, and Madrid's super cool as well. So yeah, it was a really nice break. I feel good actually going into this kind of maintenance block that will make up the kind of 9 weeks, well, 9 weeks between Seville and London. So yeah, I'm excited for things to come. If you've made it this far in the video, thanks so much for watching. It's the first time I've actually done anything like this. I've thought about it for a long time. In 2020, I was supposed to run Berlin, London, Chicago 3 weeks in a row. Never happened. That's why I bought this camera, and it's remained in its box since then. But I thought this charity challenge that I'm doing, which I'll talk about more in the next one, would be as good as an excuse as any to get it out and maybe start doing something a bit more frequently. So thanks very much for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate you, and stay tuned until the next. Bye.